first open the meeting up and let Madam Mayor, do you have anything that you'd like to say to the folks?
No, I'm just really excited to be here this evening and very excited to talk about the future of the Gulfstream Hotel. Anyone who's lived here for a long time, we've been talking about it an awfully long time. So it's exciting to see something coming to fruition. It's exciting to meet Amrit and Amy, who are doing such amazing things with their company in other states across the country. And they are not just great developers or hotel renovators or historic property people. They're also just really good people. And I hope you experience that and you get to know them a little bit. To give you an idea, these are people that care about their community. They've helped to turn things around in communities, but not just in the ways you think of it from a development standpoint. When COVID happened in their community, you know, they told all their employees that if you don't have money, if you can't eat, you come here and you'll have food, to all of their employees, and have fed them through this COVID pandemic, and tried to guilt some of their other fellow hoteliers in the industry in their community to do the same. And when they didn't do the same, these other hotel companies, he offered to take care of their employees as well. And, you know, that's the kind of people that they are. And they do wonderful things for schools and for arts and for so many things. They're kind of Renaissance people. And I've been honored to get to know them through this course of, you know, yeah, we've had setbacks. Yeah, we thought we had it going when, you know, a few years back, but sometimes things happen, and sometimes you actually find the right people to come in to really not just be someone developing a property, but someone that's actually a good neighbor. And I'm excited for you to meet them again if you haven't met them the last time they were in town and did a presentation at the beach. But it's an exciting time. We all know what that hotel not only means to our history, but also what the future holds for our city, especially the fact that we're a city that cares about mom and pops. You know, we're not big box stores and all that kind of stuff. And we've got a lot of mom and pop operations that need that constant flow of traffic and business to them. And this hotel, we know, everyone knows, is a catalyst for that. And it's a very exciting time. I'm sure you're going to have questions and concerns. And I'm actually impressed that they wanted to come here to this meeting now, just to get your, you know, input in your and talk about any impacts that it might have on the community while it's being restored, and the new property and what that entails. And I commend them for doing that, but they don't shy away from anything. They come right in and they want to make sure that everyone is educated in how things happen and how they hope things will happen, and also what they can do to help you as well. So be open, listen, and if I can answer anything, I'd be more than happy to. Some people don't know that before I was involved in politics, I never wanted to be in politics, but I worked for the Convention Center and Visitors Bureau as the PR liaison to the CVB. And this was, you know, really one of the strong things that I wanted to see happen, because I knew the kind of economic development and the impact it would have on our community. And I remember how fun it was to take my scooter down to the old Gulfstream and sit out on the patio and have cocktails with my then fiance, now 20 years husband, and you know, get those intercoastal breezes. Remember Daniels with those murals up on the walls, and I think it was the caramelized onion and duck quesadilla was my favorite at that time. At that time, but you know, looking forward to creating those memories again, and excited to hear what they have to say. So I'll shut up now. Sorry.
Thank you, Mayor.
That's fine. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
And yeah, in fact, our neighbors are so excited. We're so appreciative that Amrit remembered my request when I met him up at the casino building to, you know, come join the neighborhood and come show us what you got. We'd love to, you know, give you feedback, and both you and Amy, we really appreciate it, and it means a lot. We are recording this, by the way, so folks out there all over the city and outside the city, for that matter, will be able to watch this as a YouTube video to see some of the pictures and the highlights, and maybe answer some of their questions as well. I tell you, the neighborhood association, Bryant Park, was formed, and they used to meet at the Gulfstream Hotel for years, you know, and sit there at the restaurant and bar, and a lot of good memories. And that was just before I joined, and I've been so waiting and waiting and waiting. I've been here now 15 years, waiting for this building to resurrect and open up again, and a lot of people are, so we're very excited. And with that, I'm just going to let Herman Robinson, who he and his wife Laurel were among the starters of Bryant Park. Herman, do you have anything you'd like to add to? You have to unmute, buddy. Do you know how to unmute? Can you?
My
You're
dear.
okay?
Yeah, it's a
Oh, there you are.
I just wanted to welcome the Gills back to town and wish them all the success in the world. It means a lot to Lake Worth Beach.
Yeah, and not to belabor the point, but that very first organizational meeting was held at the Gulfstream. We had 75 people there in that room off to the side, and it was a very, very exciting day. And that's why I'm so happy to be here for this. It looks like we're going to have exciting times back in the Gulfstream once again. So thank you.
There you go. Great. And Amrit, I'm just going to remind you that we also have our reservations with you. So the first available night or day that we can squeeze in, we'll guarantee you a full restaurant. So just reserve that under Bryant Park neighborhood and we'll be all set.
All right.
All right. Herman's picking up the check. Herman's picking up the check on that. So don't worry. It's all good. All right. So with that all being said, I'd now like to turn the conversation over to Mr. Amrit Gill and his lovely wife, Amy.
Okay.
And Peter for the presentation. So welcome.
Thank you so much. And Mayor, thank you for the kind words, all of you. Lake Worth Beach is truly a wonderful, warm, welcoming community. And we already feel like we're a part of it. In spite of COVID and not being able to get down there as often as we'd like. But as soon as this vaccine comes out, we'll be down there all the time. You guys will be sick of us. So, Peter, can you start the slide in a minute? In the meantime, just so you guys know, one of the questions we asked all the time is, if you're going to build something next to the Gulfstream, why can't you make it look like the Gulfstream? Well, we can't, because the National Park Service has very specific rules against copying a historic building. So when you look at this, you'll see how we've differentiated the new from the old. So this is looking at it from Lake. Looking at it from Lake, the Gulfstream is on the left. The new Gulfstream is on the right. And what you see, that one-story part that's butting up. Amy, would you like to take this over and explain explain this? This is really your bailiwick.
Sure, no problem. So if you look at the front of the building, you'll notice that one of the things that the Park Service tells us to do when you do a historic redevelopment is to make the new building deferential and subservient to the old historic building. So if you'll notice, the new building is set back away from the Gulfstream. It's very differentiated in style, obviously. They don't want you to copy the original. And then it has that front canopy. I don't know, Pete, if you can point to that, but the front canopy on the new Gulfstream is equal to the canopy on the old Gulfstream, so that they, sorry, we're gonna just push it up, so that they look sympathetic to each other from the street, because one has that, just that plain kind of porte-cochere canopy, and the other one, of course, the older Gulfstream has its original porte-cochere canopies, and they'll go together as you're driving, you know, towards the front of the historic Gulfstream. We've made the Gulfstream much more prominent than the other building by also having it sit further, you know, it sits out towards the street, whereas the new building sits back away from the street. And then just one more thing about the new Gulfstream is that there's a lot of plantings and plants in front of the new Gulfstream, but the old Gulfstream will retain its original appearance, which did not have like a whole bunch of greenery out in the front, just to differentiate it from the new part. But as you can see, our main entry will be the main Gulfstream building. And then we have basically a patio that's at the front of the new Gulfstream. And in between the two buildings, we have ADA access to both buildings so that we're able to provide ADA access to everyone right up through the front of both of the buildings, basically. Can we go on a little bit here? So that would be from the other view coming over the bridge. That's what you would see. And as you can see, it really makes the Gulfstream prominent. And the first feature that you see when you come down the road, that's what you're going to see is that prominent Gulfstream facade. And then here it is, just from the
further away.
A little bit further away, just to give you a little bit more depth and idea of what the new building looks like. It has a lot of, if you look at that, just so everybody knows, we're trying to make sure that we pay homage not only to the city, but to make sure that we kind of respect some of the things that the city has put up. So there's a large flat wall on the side of the building that we're going to use to project art up onto the building. We'll feature different artists and different local artists and be able to project art up onto that large flat wall on the side of the building. Because Lake Worth is such an arts community, we wanted to make sure that, you know, the new building kind of paid homage to that and, you know, to really express not only that the building is an interesting building, but it's also part of the neighborhood.
Okay.
And then this is the back side of the building, which of course most people won't see. The first couple of floors are on the back side of that building, our parking garage. And then as you go up, there's some green space in the building.
Peter, can you color?
What? Nothing.
Never mind.
So, so anyway, so that's the back side of the building, which will have, it's a graded exterior so that it has ventilation and everything through it, but that part is the parking garage. Now that's the side of the building.
With the new entry going through the extension of the alley.
Right. And there's trees to the left there and green space. And then this is...
Can you go back to that slide one more time? So that's the second pool on that second floor over there. And the road that goes in past that connects back to the alley so that there's still through traffic on the alley.
Both for residents and for deliveries and
So, yeah.
operational. And it actually enters the garage, you can enter through there as well. And then this gives you just some of the other views from further down the street.
This is First Street, I believe. This is First Street and Lakeview.
Condo entry and...
So this is a condo and a hotel? I didn't know that.
Yes, there'll be condos on one end and hotel on the other, attached to the actual Gulfstream hotels. The issue that we have, well, a couple of things. One is you can't fit enough hotel rooms in the original Gulfstream. Modern hotel rooms, I guess I should say. They had hotel rooms that had no bathroom attached to it, or hotel rooms that would not fit even today's king size bed. They had some hotel rooms that had 2 twin beds. So, so the original hotel, I think, fits 71 hotel rooms, and the new part of the new addition fits another.
We have a total of 170.
Yeah, 170 total. And then on the side of the condo, on the side of the building that faces the residential area, there are going to be condos there.
Total of 42 condos.
Amrit,
Yes, ma'am?
are these condos also like for extended stay, like the old Gulfstream was, sort of like? Do you have hotel amenities for the condominiums as well?
Yes. The condos will share the hotel amenities.
Okay.
And
So-
you will, if someone bought a condo, they would be able to put it into basically almost like a timeshare, and it would become part of the hotel inventory.
Okay. Thank you.
And then this is the view from above. There is a large patio pool sun deck. There's a restaurant up there on the top floor, as well as there's a fitness center up there. And
Of course, all of that is open to the public. The restaurants are all open to the public, obviously.
and as you can see, there's a lot of green roofing. As you look down from above, there's a lot of green roofs in order to make sure that, you know, we're justifiably taking care of the environment. We're going to have a lot of runoff onto those green roofs, which will save from water, you know, just going into the sewer and drainage system.
Okay. I think we can open it up to questions if.
Yeah? Is that okay? Do we have any? So Courtney, you had a question that had come in through the email you said?
They were just
Find out.
asking about parking. And
About the
so
parking.
if you guys could elaborate on the parking garage a little bit, that might be, I don't know, but that's
Sure.
it. That's the only question.
So we have 3 levels of parking, and
And
we actually
maybe also-
redesigned the parking. We redesigned the parking garage to have more parking spaces than the hotel and the condos need. So there'll be some there might be a public parking option. We're still working that out with the city.
I think also that we're looking for some ideas too. Can you hear me?
Mhm.
Once the project, you know, moves completely forward and they start the renovations, I know that it's been mentioned. The city manager has mentioned to me that they wanted to talk about parking on Gulfstream.
Okay. Amrit, am I muted, Brian?
Sorry, what? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You can hear me? Okay. Marshall started talking. I didn't know if he could hear me. I think he froze.
Yeah, I think you did.
Okay. I know that the city manager was talking about there had been some promises long ago or whatever about parking on Gulfview. So the city is going to be looking towards doing some sort of decal parking for condominium owners and homeowners in that area to help alleviate some of that problem and maybe do some reconfiguration through the area to help out too. So what you're saying is then also residents could use your parking as well, Amrit?
Possibly. I mean, Michael and I are still trying to work out what the public parking option is going to look like.
Okay.
Okay.
Just want to make sure that everyone has a, you know, has an
Right.
area to park.
So I just saw a question asking, will the hotel rooms in the old building be the same style / pricing as the new hotel rooms? So they will be the same style. However, they will not have balconies. because the new hotel, the new building is designed with hotel rooms where each hotel room has a balcony. And so the old, on the other hand, we cannot add balconies because the National Park Service would never allow us to. So yes, it's one hotel with one flag. In all probability, is going to be a Marriott Tribute Collection hotel, Tribute Portfolio, I'm sorry, a hotel. And the rooms will be done in the same style, unless you want to address that, Amy.
Well, they're definitely going to be the same style, and we've done this so many times where we've put modern hotel rooms in, but it just creates the need to make the rooms bigger. So in the old hotel, you're not going to see 25 rooms down a hallway because it's just not possible nowadays. People won't rent rooms like that, but we will have beautiful new rooms in a modern style, in a modern in that size anyway, to make sure that we can have a large enough room. And I'm happy to, if anybody wants to go on our portfolio, you can see what we've done in historic rooms, across our portfolio.
So Amy, you would say like the aesthetics will all be modern while it kind of blends with the historic structure of the building.
Exactly. Our motto for our buildings has always been historic, because we always try to blend the modern with the new, right? So, and we call that historic. So.
And we actually trademarked that.
Did you really? I like that. Because we like the bones of the old building, definitely.
The question was about, do we have renderings? And we do not. We're just now moving into construction documents, and the interior design package has not been worked on. So there was a question about noise issues from the rooftop pool. And I believe, Amy, correct me if I'm wrong, but the plan was to close the pool at 10 o'clock at night, just like we do all our other pools. And the action is really going to be in the lobby of the historic Gulfstream and the lobby bar and restaurant.
Yes, the upstairs restaurant will be nice, and there's a lot of it that's indoors that we can take advantage of, but also we will really be trying to drive business to that historic lobby Gulfstream location. And I feel like it will, just because it's a beautiful restaurant, and it still has views, and I just think it'll be easy to drive the business that way.
Marriott, it's in all probability going to be a Marriott portfolio, tribute portfolio, which is a sister brand of Autograph Collection. Most of our hotels are Autograph Collection. However, they had already given the Autograph Collection flag to the Tide Line, which is just across the bridge there. In terms of financing, financing is still an issue. Lenders are not as readily available as they were 8 months ago, or even 6 months ago. COVID has really chased away a lot of people from the lending space, but we are very confident we're going to get it done. We are still in our due diligence phase. However, we have, I think, 70 days left to complete the purchase of the property. We're hoping to start construction in March of next year. In terms of meeting and banquet space, most of the meeting and banquet space is actually in the new building and not in the historic building. If you look at the rendering, that big flat green roof that you see at the corner of, I want to say it's Lakeview and Lake, that is all ballroom. It's all part of the ballroom. There's 2 big ballrooms that it can be 1 big ballroom or 2 smaller ballrooms. And then there's meeting rooms as well off of there. There'll also be a full service spa in the new building above the ballroom that connects to the swimming pool that's on the lower deck of the historic building. We anticipate, yes, we are going to I wouldn't say restore, but I would say renovate the old building and the bar so that it's pays homage to the historic. Estimated duration is about 20 months total. So we're hoping to be complete by the end of 2022. The new building on Gulf, you just saw. No, we cannot put arches to mimic the historic building because again, we have to differentiate it, and that's why it looks different. What's the question about the streetscape? I'm sorry. On Lakeview and First Avenue?
Laurel. Ryan, you want to unmute Laurel? Where's Laurel?
Yes, hello.
Yep.
Ah,
Okay, yes, I had the question about the streetscape on Lakeview and First. It seems like there's a lot of wall there. And I completely understand why you're not going to make a building derivative from the Gulfstream. But just for a streetscape view for the folks that live on the west side of Lakeside and the people that live on First Avenue South, and that's a very heavily trafficked road, as you know. Honestly, it does look like it's kind of monolithic going along there. Was that a design element, or is there a reason for that kind of look?
I'm not totally sure I understand. Are you talking about the elevator tower right there?
No. No, I'm talking about the blank walls that you're going to see when you drive down Lakeside.
You mean the parking garage?
Yes, yes, yeah. It seems to not have any relief going down there.
Well, actually, I believe that is an architectural wall. But Amy, you want to address the cladding on the garage?
I think what she's, okay, Laura, I may be wrong, but if you can, hopefully Pete can point with his arrow and we can all follow along here. But there is a wall down the side of the ballroom here, but that wall will have greenery in front of it, and it has greenery above it. Actually, there are trees on the upper floor too. So I feel like that will be pretty easily camouflaged. And then as you go further down where we set back that garage, we did put a lot of greenscaping in front of it just to make sure that you would mostly see greenery and not
That's on the upper deck.
No, it's down.
No, there's lots of landscaping along the wall of the garage on the west side of the building along Lakeview.
Yeah.
Done.
Okay.
So-
Yeah, I get it. It was just a question. Because, yeah, this particular, is this a door? Where does that just go into the garage, or is it an entry into some condos or rooms?
That is the entrance for the condo owners.
Ah,
This picture we're looking at now, that's the entrance for the condos?
That is correct.
Okay.
So the idea was to put landscaping along Lakeview so that it kind of shielded the garage from, just softened the impact.
Unfortunately, the way the Florida rules are written, you have to put the garage.
Elevate the entire structure, yes.
So it's just the way the Florida rules are written. So we had to kind of push that garage through the structure. And then if you look at the, Pete, I don't know if you can push that out. But, so that flat wall that you're seeing is the elevator tower. And then on the back, sorry, the side that faces the residential, can you go to the one you just were at? Sorry. There. So you can see that we have trees and foliage on that side as well, just to give it, and you, of course, your eye will be drawn to those huge balconies.
And then above that is all the balconies with the condos and glass.
So may I ask about the building that was, I questioned about just to the south of the arches? Is that the extension of the restaurant?
No, it's
It's actually the kitchens
an
and
extension of the restaurant, but it's back of house space as well as kitchen.
Oh, so that whole building is strictly a kitchen, not also a restaurant?
no,
Right.
it's literally
Okay,
because the kitchens are underground right now.
right.
And not allowed by code to leave them where they are. We needed to find a place for the kitchens and receiving and all of that would be in an attractive format. So,
Right.
So that's what all that is kitchens and receiving, and there's, you know, coolers and all the kind of stuff that you need for a kitchen.
Oh, so it's all infrastructure. There's no public space inside there.
No,
No.
there is public space on top. There's a
Just the
swimming
pool above.
Yes.
Right, the pool. I see it's pool, right?
It's a quieter,
But,
more swimming pool.
Okay, because the restaurant that's existing, the previous iterations that the last developer was going to do, I believe, was they were going to extend the restaurant out that way. So is the restaurant space that's currently in the old Gulfstream, is that the same size as before? Or will that be enlarged or smaller or?
It'll be different. So in our experience, what we've learned is a lot of hoteliers separate the restaurant from the lobby, but we do not, because we feel like that should be an interactive space. So in all of our hotels, you'll see that our bars and everything face the lobby, so that the lobby becomes part of the restaurant, for lack of a better word. It all becomes part of one active place. And that way, you know, you could sit in the lobby at a table and chairs in any of our hotel and be served drinks or appetizers. And then you could go in and have a drink and eat in the main part of the restaurant. So we try to make these spaces really interactive because we found the most success.
So would there be an area that if our neighborhood or frankly just anybody that wants to, you know, say the hotel or the neighborhoods, would there be an area where we could have an event that's, you know, that can use the restaurant bar area and still have, unless you, short of roping it off, I suppose, but is there some way of it being not private, so to speak, but, you know, its own distinct area?
We do have a meeting room that's off the front in between the Gulfstream and the new hotel. There is a meeting room. It depends on how big of a party the neighborhood wants to have. Otherwise, you know, we would want to move that, depending on how big it is and how busy the restaurant is, you know, we could move it to the ballroom, we could move it to the rooftop. There's a bunch of different spaces in order to be able to utilize the building with all the different spaces. The other thing is, on the other side, on the front of the new building, there's also a huge patio that could be used for an informal gathering as well.
Is that what we're looking at now on the outside? That green
Yes.
space in front you're talking about?
Yes.
I see. Okay. And or another option, I guess, is also you have the pool that's above that one area we were just talking about, would that be an area that could be used? Because you have 2 pools, you said, I believe, right?
Correct.
So we could, because like we have an event once a year that would bring in 100, 120 people. Would we be able to, let's say, use around the pool, or,
Sure, yeah.
you know,
Or there's so many spaces there that could accommodate that, would just be a question of how you want to do it. You could reserve the whole restaurant if you want, or you could, use the front patio or the pool. Any of those spaces would work for that.
and will this be the only restaurant you're gonna have, since you're essentially adding another hotel? Will there be another restaurant, or maybe I missed that you said? I don't know.
There's a restaurant on the rooftop. If you look on this, do you see the palm tree poked out from the roof
Right.
up there? So there is a restaurant up there, and there's some patio seating, but most of it is indoors. And then it opens on the back side of it. There's a bar, and then that opens out into the pool area.
Okay.
There you go.
I have a question about the parking. How many spaces will be? Are there public spaces, or is it strictly for the hotel and condo?
We're still working that out with the city.
Okay.
We
The-
have
and the re-
designed
yeah.
it to have more parking spaces than we need for the hotel.
You do, okay.
Yeah.
Because the issue is with the condo to your south, where they have been using that parking area, but somehow years back, they were given that area to use, but there really wasn't ever, my understanding was that there just was never enough parking in the first place when that building was going up. So I don't know if they're going to be brought into the garage as well, or if that's still what the city's trying to work out here.
Yeah, that's still under discussion.
Yep. And that has
Okay,
to do with what I had mentioned earlier, Marshall, when I talked about having parking passes along Gulfview and whatnot, and freeing up some other spaces somewhere. We've got a couple of discussions that we have to just finish up, but
okay.
we're looking for better ways.
Yeah, because the issue I know also with Gulfview is you've got a lot of folks that use the park, as you know, that north end, and that's a major area that they're using, just from everyone from the bicyclists that unpack and go on their rides to just events that are in the north end, and competing with all the trailer parking, as you know, it becomes a bit of a mess. So,
There's a couple of other questions that were asked. In terms of alley parking for the Gulfstream condos, yes, the alley will just be rerouted, so you're getting on the alley from Gulfview. And so if you look, you can see that those parking spaces are still there behind the Gulfstream condos. Let's see what else was there.
they're asking about the planned nightly rates.
That's really something that Marriott will, guide us on. But I would presume that they would start somewhere in the $169, $179, rate for during season, and probably a little bit lower than that off season.
Would there be any, would there be like a discount or, for folks that want to do like a staycation? That's a very popular thing for folks.
We do local rates, so the rates are lower for locals.
Okay. And they're asking, address, let's see, I live in the Gulfstream condos next to the hotel.
The main loading dock and the service area is between the two buildings where the old alley used to be. So it's tucked in where it won't disturb anybody. Further to the right.
Okay.
So directly west and north of the small swimming pool. And then the other question that was asked was,
We'll still have an alley.
our choice, hotel built by professionals or dead space that'll fall down eventually. I don't see a question there.
That's more of a comment, I think, there. That's from George.
One of the questions was about stormwater. We will follow all of the state and city stormwater plans, but in addition to that, we're trying to set up a really good situation where we have a lot of green roof space in order to keep that stormwater on the property and to make sure that we're taking in that stormwater and using it on the property. So if you look, there's so many green roofs, and we're even trying to expand the green roof footprint even as we speak, just because it's something that we feel is important and adds to the whole. I mean, I'm married to the ultimate environmentalist, so I will tell you that if there's a way to make it greener, he's going to do it. Whether it's we're using super low energy HVAC and lighting and equipment, and he will always spend more money on.
So just so you know, our house, we're actually net zero carbon emission. We have solar panels on the house that generate more than we use. So we actually put electricity back into the grid.
And he does that with everything. We have rain barrels on almost all our properties. He does all
I don't think we're going to do rain barrels here, but yes, you're right. We do a lot of silly stuff.
Yeah, there's a question here where they're asking about solar panels. Were you planning on using any solar panels?
No, unfortunately, as you can see, we've pretty much covered most of the roofs. There's a few roofs that are left. We actually need to put some equipment on them. So, you know, I mean, if you look, you'll see that pool area, that's around 30,000 square feet there. And somebody who was asking about noise, if you notice, we put 2 condos up on that top floor, which act almost like a shield between the public areas of the hotel and the neighborhood to the south.
And that was purposeful. I mean, we could have got basically that area all that height, but we did not, in order to make sure that we're kind of protecting the neighborhood from, you know, any noise that might come towards you. And then
in terms of the domestic hot water, obviously our mechanical contractor hasn't fully designed that system yet, but Marriott will not allow tankless hot water heaters for the hotel rooms. So those will be high efficiency, you know, with a constant loop, hot water heaters, probably lock-and-bars is what we typically use. However, for the condos, we haven't really finished designing that yet.
And they were asking in the condos if there are going to be residencies, or did they hear timeshare from you?
No, there's no timeshare.
Okay. And how about renting out? Is there an option for anybody to rent them out?
Yes. So maybe
Okay.
that's where some heard timeshare. But it'll be, I'm sure there'll be a lot of people who just are residents and just use it. But for those who still have a career maybe in New York and want to, you know, just come down here once in a while, they have the option of putting it in the rental pool.
Yeah.
And it would be rented to us. It will be restricted to be rented through the hotel.
Right. It can't be rented outside of the hotel unless I guess you probably could. I guess there's no law against it, but certainly our goal is to try and make sure that they're all of the same quality in terms of the rental, so that you know, we can kind of control the quality of the experience.
Mm-hmm. One of the questions was asking in your area where you're going to have the trash bins, is odor going to be a problem permeating out through, you know, I guess because you've got the condos right next to you there, of where you're putting by the alley? Do you have anything to, because I know up at the beach, they have an issue where driving by, that's a big issue with the dumpsters there. And I guess that's why they're concerned about where you're placing the trucks coming in and out, that alley.
I do believe that they're in a room and being rolled out so that we can control the odor, but I don't know that the design has been fully vetted out yet, to be perfectly honest. But I do believe actually right in that corner in a room with a kind of a door on it, if I remember right.
Right. But when the doors are open, and sometimes, you know, it happens, people leave doors open. Is
Well,
there a
then
possibility that
you're-
it's going to
Do if doors are open, and that would allow you to walk into all of the service areas.
Oh, I see.
Well, and not only that, but you have to remember that we have our pool right above there, so we obviously would not want that to happen.
Good point. Yeah. That's a very good point. Let's see what else we have here. Tankless hot water heater. Oh, they're asking about tankless hot water heaters. Will those be installed for huge energy savings?
I think we already addressed that, but I would also tell you that with large
Did you,
scale heaters, they're usually more, they're actually more energy efficient than many small hot water heaters, but so.
okay.
What else? An estimated price of the condos. I think we have started that exploration with a couple of real estate agents there locally, and we should have that fairly soon.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see what else. They are reading the questions. We don't need to read. Oh, okay. Thank you, Courtney.
What else?
I'm not seeing anything else. Oh, wait, new message.
Of course, all the neighbors will be invited to the opening.
Yes.
Yes, we're expecting you to
The
come.
neighborhood's having a big party.
I'm looking forward to it too.
Brian Parker's first dibs.
I'm
But Pam, you're invited. It's okay.
I'm crashing your party, Marcy.
You're invited, no problem. What else? Any other questions, folks?
What's your timetable to submit plans for the historic? We're working with the city.
We already have historic approval from the National Park Service. We've got an amendment that we've put together.
Right, but I think it's because you have to present them to the Historic Resource Preservation Board before it then goes to the city. So that's what they're speaking of.
I see.
That would be like Greg there, Greg Rice, for instance, who's the chair.
Hey, Marshall?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? I have
Yeah.
two questions. I have two questions. One has to do with the condos. Are condo purchasers going to have a deeded parking spot in the garage area?
Yes, absolutely. I would say two for the condos.
These are all 2 and 3 bedroom condos.
Okay. And here's my second question, but it's a question that I love to ask everybody that is from the outside and discovering Lake Worth. How did you guys discover Lake Worth?
Somebody called us and talked to us about the Gulfstream. And then we were called by the broker who said, there's a project and a community that really needs you and your wife, and could you take a look at it? And I did, and it was very intriguing. And then, of course, I met the mayor and the city manager, and they sold us on the community. We don't really just do one-off projects. We become a part of the community because our mission is to strengthen and enhance the communities that we operate in. And we do that by, renovating neglected neighborhoods. And while this one is not as neglected as some of the ones that we've been involved in, it sure did appear like it needed some help.
I mean, just to give you an example, we're finishing a project in downtown Sioux City over the next couple of months. We actually have our first hotel rooms booked for 2 weeks from now, which is why Amrit and I are in different places. because he's up there trying to help the hotel get open. But the postman came up to me last week when I was up there and said, this area of town has been dead for 30 years. And since you started your project, there are 18 open building permits in this downtown area. So hopefully, you know, that's what we want to hear, that other developers are joining in, that it makes a difference to the neighborhood, to the people that live there. And so that's what we're hopeful for.
There was a question about our experience with the CRA, and I would tell you that it was an amazingly professional experience, and they are wonderful, and they did everything they could to help us.
And is there anything more that you would like from them, or that they could do for you, or? No, I mean, I'm just asking. It's up, you know.
They have done what they can within, you know, the bounds that they are bound by. We still have a gap on this project, but Palm Beach County has been working to help us close the gap.
Oh, good. Okay.
It's
Yeah,
awful.
the one thing you'll find about the city of Lake Worth is that you will get back in spades what you put out to the community. You know, I, for one, as many people know, when we did our Derby Day, I went out all up and down downtown US 1 to a lot of these businesses. They gave of their hearts with, you know, they were very generous with door prizes and so forth. And we always give back, always said, buy local. This is the kind of town we buy local. We'll, with, you know, they'll sleep here. I mean, they'll bring family and friends in. Believe me, you will see it in spades.
Well, one thing you need to understand is we kind of design our properties to be embedded in the locale, so that we're really community facing. We don't really build properties for the transient business traveler who shows up. Sure, we'll take their money so that we can spend it in the community. But just as an example, before COVID hit, our restaurant in Hotel St. Louis, which is a Louis Sullivan building in downtown St. Louis that we renovated, that's been sitting vacant for 15 years. The restaurant had 130 local vendors. And last year, we spent over $6 million buying goods and services in the local community. So we recycled $6 million in the local community. And if you understand the spreading effect that has, that's how we try to fulfill our mission to strengthen and enhance the local communities that we operate. So our properties are designed to be used by the community. So we're kind of community facing. And sure, we'll also do, you know, what Marriott wants us to do, which is have a big ballroom and have those big, you know, meetings, weddings, etc. But that's still a lot of the community facing stuff that we do. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I have to say too, Amrit, you're a foodie too. So
Uh-oh.
I love that.
Uh-oh.
I love that. And he uses, you know, he buys local produce, uses local bakeries in the town, organic when possible. Just really good
We're
food.
setting a great local food program in Sioux City for the steakhouse that we're opening here. It's all local farmers who are supplying us the beef, and we're aging some of it ourselves. And all the produce is coming from, believe it or not, from Farmer Brown. That's a real farmer in Sioux City, and some other farmers that are all local. So it's fun, and it's a good way to get to know the local community too.
Hey, we're the produce capital down here. You're gonna get some beautiful greens and microgreens and things to use in your restaurant. You're gonna love it. You're gonna be sending that to Sioux City.
Yeah, if your chef calls in sick, you can call Pam. Just keep her on speed dial.
Yeah, that's right.
There's a question here. They were asking if you've been awarded historic tax credits. Have you been able to get tax credits
What
yet?
do you mean awarded? So there's a Part 2 approval on the hotel that the previous owner had applied for and gotten. We have to amend it because our plan is quite different from from theirs. And one of the big objections to their plan was they were putting a big piece of equipment, believe it or not, on the roof where it could be seen from the street, which of course we don't plan to do. So, so we do have an amendment that we put together that's going to be headed out to them soon.
Okay. And what was there was another one here.
So we are entitled to historic tax credits, if that makes sense.
Yes.
But
yes.
there is no award, not until you complete the project.
Right.
Okay. Another question was, when were you planning on closing on the purchase?
Towards the end of
Financing.
Okay. Okay. I'm not. Are there any other questions? Any other questions, or did I miss anything? There is.
I don't know who the Tourist Development Board is, but I would be happy to contact them. So I'll do a little research and see if I can contact them.
Amrit, actually, that's one of the groups, many of the different contacts we've had on this hotel over the years. And yes, George Pescara is very thrilled.
Okay.
They're very, very thrilled. They've been helping us out throughout the course of the last several years, and disappointed when things didn't go their way. But like, as I mentioned earlier, everything happens for a reason sometimes. And we're looking forward to a partnership with you. It's so confusing sometimes, you know, even having, you know, us government people involved in this, people think that we own the building, you know, the city, it was city owned property. And new people that come here, they don't understand, why can't we just wave our magic wands and make this happen and this happen? It wasn't our building. It was independently owned, and we have to follow those standards as well as the standards of, you know, national historic dwellings as well too. So we have the ability to help, and that's what we're doing. I think Amy and Amrit know that we're going to step up with everything that we can to get things moving forward, and we're very excited about it. Also, can you give your website, guys? I would really love for people to see some of your work on these beautiful historic hotels that you've already opened. You have a track record. You've done this before. You've got the brand, you've got the flags, and some of the buildings are really cool. What is the website address again?
It's restorationstl.com.
Okay. Restoration yeah.
STL, like the
St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Okay, STL. All right, perfect. And that gives everyone a chance to take a look at that too. Oh yeah, there you go. Look at that. Wow.
Oh, look at that right there where the arch is. St.
I
Louis
know.
Arch. Beautiful.
And that's the building on the right is the Lewis Sullivan building. It's the only operating hotel in the Lewis Sullivan building in the world.
Really? And you also have some quirky
It has
small
residences on
projects,
top. We took it back to his original, the lobby. They had put in floors and gotten rid of the skylight, and we brought his skylight back. And actually, if you look at the finished photos, you'll see we put the stained glass back in too. Well, we put new stained glass in.
Wow.
Right there.
And that's where you can see a little bit of how the modern furnishings, clean lines and whatnot, but also with the original architecture still there, shining. Beautiful stuff, guys. You can't get me any more excited, but I'm glad everybody got a chance to see this, and I'm sure you'll have a million more questions along the way as we go. But is there anyone else?
I just put one in real quick. From the neighborhood's perspective, we've had a number of ideas that we've been trying to think of ways to bring back entertainment in the park at the north end, directly across from the Gulfstream in that area. Would you folks be interested in sponsoring an event or an ongoing type of event that we can do in there? To attract more people as well for yourselves.
Oh, absolutely. That's what being part of the community means, is doing stuff like that. Sure.
Okay.
I already asked them that, Marshall.
Did you? Okay. I lost my connection earlier a couple times. I apologize.
No, not tonight.
Oh, okay.
I tried to anticipate every question that you guys had.
Well, Pam, you know me, I'll be on it, so.
Oh, I know you will. I know you will. I love that. And the neighbors will too.
plenty of marketing out of us. Don't worry about it. We'll definitely help you guys out.
All right, guys.
I wanted to respond to Linda's question. She said, do we have any other projects? Can you flip that back over? Yes, and I'll show you, do Blackhawk. I can show you that we did, not another, definitely a new, basically a new addition. If you look at the
addition
there, that the addition part that you see that's below that BH,
No,
that, and it went through literally 97,000 renditions to get where it was because of, so if you look on the left is the new and on the right is the old lobby. So there's a new lobby. So just to give you a little perspective on that. So they're both beautiful, they're just different.
Yeah. And actually that building that you see, City Square, that and the twin, which is the current hotel, which is an art hotel, they're both Daniel Burnham buildings. That one right there.
Ooh.
Same architects as the Flatiron building in New York.
He also said, make no little plans. They have no ability to disturb us.
That is correct. Very good, Michael.
He did the Chicago Exposition.
One of my favorite sayings, by the way.
There's a comment here about doing dining and a movie on the blank wall.
A movie.
I'm guessing, is that the garage wall? This is coming from Gail.
No, it would
Maybe
be that.
doing the dining movie on the blank wall?
That's the art wall.
And you could maybe do that, but it would be so big. I don't know. It would be a little maybe off kilter, honestly, for a movie projection.
Hey, my phone rang. And it's in the kitchen.
Banner art, and something that we can, you know, add money to support a different artist.
Is the art wall the garage?
Congratulate, you know, getting married. But we'll be able to change the content.
Hey guys, if someone's got their, can you put your mute button on if you're not talking? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear them. Amrit, did you want to repeat? You just got muted.
I said we'll be able to change the content so that we can congratulate a couple who's getting married or, you know, whatever else it might be. That's all.
Primarily, it's to be used to really be a display for art, and hopefully local artists will get involved and want to have their stuff maybe shown up there, something that we can project up there. Or I was thinking during the street festival with the chalk artists, it would be fun. We could take pictures of chalk art and display it up there during the festival, which would be like super fun.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, one more about color, guys. This is like, can the color of the new building be more like the color of the old building?
We can try to do that, only to be honest with you, the old building is a lot of stucco and the new building is a lot of windows, but they can be similar as long as the Park Service doesn't have a problem with it. The problem is when you're too close, too similar, then they don't want them, they want it to be, which is why the new building is a little darker. It's in the same shade tone, but it's darker in order to make the old building stand out more.
Someone had also asked too, is the restaurant part of your thing or is it an outside something you're bringing in, or does it belong to you?
Typically our restaurants belong to us. We have had a couple of restaurant tenants, but typically we like to control the restaurants because they're such an integral part of the, because they have to present the soul of our our hotel, you know? A restaurant is part of the soul of the place.
You know, one thing if I could also just mention is when you're designing your restaurant areas, you know, in keeping with the theme of buying local and so forth, this town is known for some significant art that's created here. You know, we have art of all levels, but of all kinds, but there's some serious artists in this town. Would you be looking at potentially incorporating any of that as part of your decoration? And possibly, you know, some of these other restaurants in the past have put things on the walls where when they sell them, there's also a percentage donation to a nonprofit or organization in town. I don't know if you've ever done this or thought about that, but is that something that could work?
So, for example, the Current Iowa, which is our art hotel, their website, maybe? So the Current Iowa is, it is an art hotel. So we have some experience with that. What I can tell you, what I've learned not to do, right? I will not have art in the hotel rooms that's for sale. That is bad juju, and it leads to all kinds of issues. There you go. Here, we're going to try to show you a little bit of this. But we do have, for example, in every room, we did a collaboration with a local art glass place. And they, can you just pull that over? That just that. And so it has a piece of glass that was made by a local child or veteran. And that money that we sell them for goes directly back to them. We don't collect any money, but we sell about 70, well, until COVID, about 70 to 100%. 70 to 100 pieces a month.
Wow.
But these are just some pictures of, you know, art in the hotel. There's a lot of local art. Bessie, of course, she's awesome. There's a lot of art throughout the hotel that's local, but that hotel is specifically geared on Midwestern art and modern art. So everybody that's shown there is a contemporary artist. So anyway, it was super fun to do too. Like, for example, in the picture that Pete's showing right now, that piece in the back that's red and blue, that's actually a gal. She's a weaver, and it's a giant tapestry, hand weaved tapestry from a local weaver. And she's actually well known internationally. And I don't know if you can pull it left. Can you pull that picture so you can see the corn? So we have there's a guy named Michael Milan, and he makes these giant, if you look on the very left of that picture, there are 5 foot tall giant ears of blown glass corn in there. Oh, yeah. that he makes. It's really stunning. So
yeah.
So yeah, we will have a lot of fun with art, and we will talk to a lot of artists. But I will tell you that we won't have art in the rooms for sale. And, you know, we will try to incorporate local art though throughout the hotel. We love that. And I think if you look at any of our hotels, anywhere on the website, you'll see there's a lot of local art. As a matter of fact, my husband just drove to Iowa 2 giant angel wings that were handmade by an artist for our Iowa project that he's opening soon. So kind of fun. But,
I love that. We need some pigs with wings.
Wes, are you still there? Wes may have left. Wes Blackman, I forgot to mention him earlier, but okay. Also from the SARP, he used to be the chair of the SARP preservation, but Wes has a blog that he put out the word for you folks about a lot of this also, so.
Yeah, he's a great wealth of knowledge too.
He is, yeah, yeah.
All right, guys, well.
Any other questions for these fine folks? Are we good?
When are you coming back?
Yeah.
Shortly.
Oh, we'll do that soon.
We'll be there, so. We have
Well, we
this,
look forward to it.
yeah, Amr was just there Wednesday and Thursday.
Oh,
Oh, thanks a lot, Amrit.
Well,
let us,
I'm
let us know when you're back.
I'm trying to get my daughter a visa to go to school in France.
Oh my goodness. You have a lot going on.
Well, kids.
Always.
Yeah. Well, we're looking forward again to having you here, and let's just get this thing done too. We'll get with the county and we'll get with you and work on what we need to do to help get us through this pandemic and everything else, and get started. It's a lot of great hope for our future as a city, and we're looking forward to working with you.
So much.
And thank you once again on behalf of Bryant Park neighborhood. We thank you for thinking of us and coming to us to present, to the neighbors. And we can't wait for you to open up the doors.
Us either. We can't wait. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you so much.
Okay.
We'll
Well,
see
thank you everybody for coming. And are there any questions by anybody going on with the neighborhood or anything? Otherwise, I'm ready to adjourn. Oh, one quick thing was I got an email earlier today from Lauren Bennett.
Hey, Marshall,
There's
can
going to
I
be an
interrupt
email
real quick?
going out.
Hold on. Can I stop the recording for this video, just for this portion of the meeting?
Oh, yes, please. Go right ahead. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.